Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about, well, a sort of retard. But remember, do not contact these people, do not stare at them, do not talk to them, do not mention them, do not even think about them. Why? Because they consider all of those things harassment. Yeah, you've been warned. Anyway, from an idiot who actually thinks that Space Marines are viable. Yeah, I'm gonna rant about that, but first, a trailer for my book.
We are few, we are God's chosen knights. We are born of sin and crime. We are repentance personified. We are immortal, we are legend. We are God's wrath made manifest. And we know no fear.
Right, so every couple of months, well, before it was every year, every 12, 10 months-ish. Now every couple of months we have a goddamn fucking retard who insists that Space Marines, female Space Marines, is viable in the law. Now, let's read what this idiot said. This is the idiot. The argument that there can't be female Space Marines because it violates established law or canon or whatever is not only asinine, but reflects a total misunderstanding of the Warhammer 40k universe. Feel free to argue with me so I can destroy you and incorporate your argument into a video that will destroy you further. Well, that's interesting. First and foremost, let's go this first through science. Yeah. Well, if you technically probably this is not taught on high school, so I'll give him that pass, even though if it was like about gender being two genders, I think he would have slept in classes, but here we go. The male skeleton, the male structure is different from the female. That's why you have different sports for both genders. One for male and one for female. There is a very clear difference in skeletal structure. First and foremost, the male skeletal structure is one, bigger. Two, we have extra hooks. Probably that would be the best definition in our bones to actually slap in, or for our muscles to grab onto. The best example that I can give you that you can actually touch and do it yourself first is on the jaws. Here, as you can see. Well, technically you cannot see much because I have a lot of skin and there's still the beard, but if you're a male, you're gonna notice that there is a small little bent like this on your goddamn fucking jaw. That is for extra muscles, which you also have right here behind on your skull. It's kind of like a nook or tiny little blob like this on your skull at the back. That's for more muscles. Why? That's because when we evolved, we used our mouths as a third fucking hand. Why? Because we would actually carry tools with our mouth while our hands were busy doing something else. I don't know, maybe scaling a a mountain or a cliff, or busy holding a goddamn fucking animal after we hunted it through exhaustion or something like that. Plus, there's also the fact that males also perceive the world a bit different than women. Besides our spatial awareness being better, we perceive it differently. For instance, when we focus on an object, we focus that object entirely. And the background, well, everything else becomes the background. Those are very key differences. Besides, our pelvis is different. The women are much broader. That's why they have that sexy walk and all of those things. They are there to give birth, to bear children. I know it hurts the SJWs knowing that females are there to give birth, and that a female penis is not technically possible, but here we are. Anywho, so back to Space Marine. So now that you know those things, and the fact that our muscles are much bulkier, and we consume more calories than the woman during the day, and there's the fact that we are faster, we have better energy management, and we are stronger. All of those things. That's why even a goddamn fucking high school football team can actually, soccer for the Americans, can actually win against a professional female football league, or professional like the American team. I think it was the American football, or was it the Australian? One of those two. They lost to a bunch of high school students. Let that sink in. Anyhow, well, and that's also why female transgender athletes tend to overpower the actual biological original women. Anyway, back to Space Marines. Now that you know all of those things, here's the context. Why would the Imperium, why would mankind, yes, I'm gonna use that word, why would the Empire, the human Imperium, use and waste resources to make a strong female, while they could actually use the same resources to make an even stronger male? All you're gonna get is just a slightly stronger man, normal man, but that's a waste of resources on a world, well, on a universe that's perpetually under war. So what's going to be your argument against those things? Are you going to tell me, no, it's the law, it can be changed, and look at the science, you're so wrong? Yeah, I can already guess some of the arguments. And it's going to be a retarded bunch of arguments that can easily be debunked. Easily. Good God, dude. Think a little. Sure, Warhammer has a bunch of demons and things like that, but what makes it interesting is because it's also based in reality. A little bit. Some of it is based in reality. That grounds it. That grounds the universe and makes it believable. It makes something that you can actually get into and enjoy the lore. It happens in the far future where, if the reality we're continuing following the lore based in there, and Warhammer would possibly exist. Obviously it won't, but that's what makes it one of the most interesting things. It's like Star Trek. Sure, they're aliens. Sure, they're aliens that look like humans and all of those things, which they then explain in an episode in The Next Generation why it looks like humans. But I digress. This is why things like Star Trek, Warhammer, tends to attract an audience, because it's based in reality. There is something in there that it's based in our world. And the more you keep changing, adding more retarded nonsense, the less it gets based in our reality, like female Space Marines. Okay, so they are in perpetual war. There's only war. And the Imperium is wasting resources that could have been used in creating more Space Marines into making slightly stronger males that are females. What a bunch of retarded nonsense! Fuck this! Only an idiot could actually think that this would be a good thing for the lore. Sure, there's power armor, but that still will not make any difference, because you still need a goddamn fucking Space Marine, male Space Marine, inside a goddamn fucking suit to make a goddamn fucking difference. yes, Space Marines are very rare in the universe that it happens in Warhammer 40k, so you're gonna make them even more rarer and less efficient. Are you retarded? Fuck me. Well, anyway, here is what he said next to another person. Here's what the guy said. I mean, they are meant to be based off, generally speaking, knights and angels, which there are only men. Beyond that, at this point in the canon, it would be kind of jarring to go back on such long-established rules as written. Why do you feel such a sudden change would be necessary? And here is how the idiot responds.
Yeah, the idea that the 40k has a string cannon is fundamentally untrue. Every bit of information we have, every slice of text, every image, every piece of footage, everything is coming from a source that is biased, misinformed, or outright lying.
Well, first and foremost, it's based on a lore. It's a creation and a document that has been created throughout the decades since the creation of Warhammer 40k. That is not biased or misinformed. Secondly, what I just explained in regards to human structure, this is not being misinformed. Misinformed is what you're fucking peddling, you fucking moron! Jesus Christ! And here is his reply, because he obviously got very triggered.
Necrons are chaos androids until they aren't. The squads got eaten by the Tyranids until they weren't. Taking anything from the 40k at face value is the most boring way to interpret this setting. Far more interesting to never fully trust anything, no matter the evidence.
Well, didn't Games Workshop just come out recently saying biological males are the only ones that are the only candidates for Space Marines? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. But this idiot here says,
fuck the law, let's go and change everything because equality, diversity, inclusion, and equality, die!
We'll go suck a cock. Jesus Christ! These people do not understand what is basic science and doesn't understand what is basic lore or what makes a story interesting. No wonder, because what we are seeing now with Hollywood, with games and the stories, why they are incapable of creating anything new to spread their goddamn fucking retarded narrative, is the evidence that these people do not understand story. Sure, the content I created for my book may not be the best thing around, but I can guarantee you it's better than the garbage and crap that whatever this dude may actually create eventually someday. So, on that goddamn fucking hell, have a great fucking night, and remember, do not contact these people. Alright, see ya.